evening, everybody, and welcome to SSTL's Networking Night. I trust that you guys are enjoying yourselves so far, having lots of drinks, catching up with old friends, and just having a great time at this beautiful bar that we have booked out for you. It's a very Instagrammable spot, so do take lots of pictures and remember to tag us as well. A huge kudos to the team for pulling this off. I don't think we've ever had our events at such a cool location before. And may this beautiful moon in the center of the room represent and serve as a reminder to all of us of how ambitious our dreams are for space as a community. For those who don't know me already, I'm Nicolette Yeo, the Director of Innovation at Singapore Space and Technology Limited. And today we have a very exciting program lined up for you, where we will be unveiling the version 2.0 of our Global Space and Technology Convention. What exactly do we mean when we say that GSTCE 2.0 is coming to you bigger and better? We will be sharing new plans, new updates, and new opportunities for all of you to be involved in the show. As the trade association for the local space industry, it is our duty and our responsibility to make sure that the show is relevant to each and every one of you here, and that we showcase the very remarkable and impressive achievements of our local space ecosystem to the rest of the world. In a bit, we will be hearing from Jeremy Chan, our chairman, who will be talking a little bit more about our SSTL's team's new direction and strategic vision. We are also very honored to be joined by some of our international partners here who will be expressing their support for the show. And we are very honored and lucky to have Kong Hui Tan, Executive Vice President of EDB, Singapore's Economic Development Board, who will be talking more about how Austin and SSTL are working hand in hand to significantly scale up the show for next year and bring a lot more value to the local space ecosystem. Jeremy, can I please invite you to give your opening remarks?
Hello, everybody. As many of you probably know, I'm actually an accidental chairperson. Thanks to Jonathan. I know I should have actually met all of you, but I know that when I first got into the role in November, my first focus was actually to make sure we have a credible show. And that was basically the first few months I spent most time trying to get that together. After that, to be fair, it was necessary for us to actually internalize and actually talk about currency and the relevance of our company now that we actually been also scoped quite differently. In the sense that after a few rounds of discussion, both with EDB, ESG, and any other ministries that we needed to talk to, it became very clear that we need to focus, and our main primary role is actually representing the companies of space companies in Singapore in our ecosystem itself. So this is basically our primary role. We are luckier than many because we do have an annual show that actually helps us to keep us going itself. And this is something that, to be fair, we've got to give kudos to the previous team that has always been working hard on it, and they've been able to take us to where we are today itself. Right? We are also continuing to work very much with the Enterprise Singapore to actually try to even expand and grow the ecosystem. So we probably will be doing quite a number of innovation programs, and then we'll see how much more can we grow. It's never going to be easy. There's always so much new startups, and therefore, we got to actually now start looking at also maybe the problem statements that may come from overseas, not just from Singapore itself. So that's something that we need to work together itself. So with that itself, thank you for coming. This is like getting you guys to come to our home. Don't you think so? Quite apt, right? A moon to go with too. But enough of myself. Definitely thank you. Let me invite Kong Hui to say a few words. Kong Hui?
You know, actually, when I said I would come, I also told him I didn't want to give any speeches, but somehow I just find myself in these impossible situations. But anyway, good evening, everyone. I hope all of you are having a good time, and thank you to SSTL, to Jeremy specifically, for inviting us here. As you all know, I think GSTC started in 2008, so it's been a long way. And then, you know, I think it's really grown to this premier sort of platform where you can see the space community in the region, and some global visitors are coming onto this platform. And this is really by no effort of EDB. The only thing we've done is basically give John a good foundation when he was an officer at EDB, but the rest was really his work. Austin has also come a long way. We're a little bit older than SSTL. We were formed sometime in 2013. I took over sometime in 2015, 16, so it's been almost 10 years. I remember when I took over the team, it was a grand total of 4 officers. So I'm also quite proud of the fact that I think we've come a long way. 2020, we kind of clarified the mandate for the Office for Space Technology and Industry. It is now mandated as a national space office for Singapore. We've increased substantially our funding for the research and development ecosystem, companies, as well as into talent development initiatives. We're now a lot more present at many of the international platforms. This is Singapore's way of trying to reach into the space economy as well. So we feel that actually it's quite timely that SSTL and basically Austin come together to drive more growth through this GSTCE platform. I think ultimately, if the platform grows, it means that we're growing mind share for Singapore. We're bringing about more vibrancy to the economic landscape in Singapore. And of course, we are also driving a lot of aspirations for many youngsters, youths, who may want to pursue a STEM career as well. So with that, I would like to say that the EDB, Office for Space Technology Industry, is fully supportive of this expansion effort by SSTL for GSTC. Although I must say I'm a little bit worried because I don't know what is after this and what I'm actually unveiling. So I'm just as excited as you are to find out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Koh Hui. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment that we've all been waiting for, Jeremy and Koh Hui will now be revealing the version 2.0 of our Global Space Technology Convention. On the count of 3, 3, 2, 1. And there you have it! Now, Global Space and Technology Convention is now GSTCE, the Global Space Technology Convention and Exhibition, to signify a new era of growth for the industry.
And all of you contributed to this idea.
You guys want to...
Feedback came from all of you.
You need to... So, why are we transforming the show to GSTCE? And why now? We feel that now is the perfect time for us to elevate the space conference to a whole new level to fit the current needs of the industry. Today, the space industry looks completely different from the way that it did 10 years ago. Now, conversations about space are no longer confined to just people within the industry, but rather people from outside of the industry are starting to sit up and recognize the growing importance of space in our everyday lives. Non-space sectors are starting to see space as an important driver of economic growth and a catalyst for innovation and transformation. We are no longer looking to the stars just for inspiration. We're no longer looking at space as the final frontier, but we're looking at space for practical answers to the problems that we're trying to solve today on Earth. Across various different industries, whether it is strengthening global communications and connectivity, or using satellite technologies to reduce carbon emissions to drive sustainability goals, or to optimize agricultural practices to address food security issues. And therefore, we must use GSTCE to drive conversations around the practical applications of space in all of these non-space sectors. You can expect to see 3 main changes at GSTCE. The first, we will be having a much wider convention agenda where we'll be focusing on space for space and space for Earth discussions. Second, as you can tell from the extra E in the title, we will be placing an equal emphasis on both the convention and the exhibition elements of the show to showcase new innovations, new technologies, and to drive wider adoption in non-space sectors. And finally, we will be having very much in-depth technical workshops, in-depth workshops that are centered around the use cases of space, where we'll be bringing in the end users and the customers from all of these adjacent industries to have focused discussions on how space technologies can transform these specific industries. For example, we'll be having workshops for space for maritime sector, space for smart cities and sustainability and climate, and space for the oil and gas sector and financial institutions. And therefore, it is very fitting that our theme for GSTC 2025 next year is commercializing space, new frontiers for disruptive innovation, where we will be focusing heavily on the commercial aspects of space and talking about how space has the power to drive economic growth, technological progress, and help us navigate the challenges that we face here on Earth. Now, Thomas will take you through a lot more of the exciting updates that you can expect to see at GSTCE 2025.
Thank you, Nikki. Good evening, everyone. For those who don't know me yet, I'm Thomas Zuo, Executive Director at SSTL. Thank you all for joining us this evening. First and foremost, we will share. We have found a new home for the event, and the event will be at Marina Bay Sands next year. It will be on the 26th and 27th of February. So please mark these very important days in your calendar and make sure that you are here with us for GSTCE 2025. Next, we have actually planned out a wider agenda, as Nikki has shared earlier, covering key trending topics from artificial intelligence, maritime, sustainability, and talent. We will make a very packed and exciting program featuring simultaneous sessions so that there are topics for everyone to be involved in. For the exhibition, we are doubling the space. Now we will have space to cater from previously from about 20 booths to up to 50 booths at the upcoming edition. The basic booth unit size is also increased from 6 square meters to 10.5 square meters. So the increased space will offer you the flexibility to customize your booths, showcase your technologies, and put your company in the best light at our event. So we encourage our partners to bring interactive displays and exhibits so that you can increase the engagement with your audiences. As Nikki has shared earlier, there's a lot more interest in the practical applications of space tech, and therefore we have planned for more in-depth workshops and seminars. This will be a great opportunity for our partners to educate potential end users and create awareness of the transformative impact that your solutions and capabilities can bring to them. The Singapore Pavilion was an initiative featured for the first time in GSTC 2024, and it will now become a constant feature of future editions as the centerpiece of our event. This underscores our commitment as a trade association in showcasing our local ecosystem and profiling them. So we definitely look forward to welcoming our partners who have participated this year, and we encourage you to share your experiences with other members of the ecosystem and encourage them also to join us in this journey. We hear the industry, and we have also now catered a lot more spaces, dedicated spaces for networking, to increase the opportunities for networking and business matchmaking. We have the VIP lounge where the VIPs and speakers can chill out before their speaking engagement or in between meetings. We have the B2B business lounge that are designed for more serious discussions. And I trust that you guys will be signing a lot more contracts at GSTCE 2025. Yay! And lastly, we have a networking lounge in a more casually designed manner so that you can catch up with your friends who in the space industry who have not seen in a while. So you guys should all be there because everyone relevant to the space industry will be there. And in case if anyone is missing from this list, let me know and you think you should be there. We will make sure that we invite them. So much for me talking. Now I would like to invite some of our esteemed partners to say a few words in support of GSTCE 2025. Firstly, we will have ONR Global, who has been a long-term partner of us, and we are excited to welcome them back in the next year's edition. We will also have the Institution of Engineers Singapore, who we recently signed a MOU with because engineering talent is a strong demand for the space industry, and therefore we are excited to see how IES can also contribute to that talent pipeline. And lastly, last but not least, we have Seraphim. Of course, everyone in this industry needs funding, right? And therefore, it's apt also that Seraphim is also involved in this. So now I would like to invite Matthew up to the stage to share a few words.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Matthew Lay from the Office of Naval Research Global. We've been a supporter of GTSC for a while now, and we're also a supporter of fundamental research and development, and we're a supporter of all the great research that's going on here, both in space as well as in Singapore. And we look forward to getting people together, to making connections, and GTSC really provides a great opportunity to do that. When I was growing up, I wanted to be an astronaut. Anyone else want to be an astronaut? There we go, a few of you. In fact, the other day I was asked if I could travel anywhere, money was no issue, what kind of trip would you take? And I was like, no hesitation at all. I would go up in a rocket, one of these private rockets, go take, a suborbital flight, have a great time. It's wonderful to see the development that's been going on in the space community, the small satellite revolution, how it has so many peaceful applications in preserving sea lanes and preserving trade, and being able to do remote sensing and all these great stuff. Once again, at Office of Naval Research, as you heard on the video, as our captain Andy Berner said, we strive to be the partner of choice. We want to be the partner of choice. We want to get people together. We want to get stuff done and make things happen. And we're grateful to be a part of GTSC. Thank you.
Next up, we have Mervyn from IES.
Thank you, Matthew. Thanks, Jeremy. He's the accidental chairman. I'm the accidental invitee. We signed an MOU with. I'm from the Institution of Engineers, and we know Jeremy for a long time. My background is aviation, but in those days it was aviation. Now we call it aerospace, and rightly so too, I think. So I mean, the MOU that we've signed with SSTL is timely, because with this conference, which I've been a fairly observer over the many years, and it's about time. In Singapore, just a quick one. IES represented the built environment, because we wanted, you wanted this building to be still standing when you are here, right? That was IES. But we had an ecosystem of aviation being built, and primarily through the EDB and our civil aviation. The ecosystem is very strong, with very strong foundations. We have organizations, we have companies, we have an ecosystem here that's commendable to anyone in the world. So it's timely now that we move up the ladder, with the institute, with this collaboration, because we represent engineers, they represent companies and ideas and organizations and government. We don't have that kind of reach. We look forward to working with them closely, and most importantly, uplifting the engineers and technicians and technologists. The new technologies are going to take away all these terms of differentiation. We will all be just good system engineers. Thank you. Thanks, Jeremy, and we will make sure that we fully support GTSC. And congratulations.
All right. Next up, we have Mark from Seraphim, who will join us via a video link.
Hi, I'm Mark Boggarts. I'm CEO and co-founder of Seraphim Space, an investment firm focused exclusively on the global space market. We've been attending GSTCE for many years now. We see this as a key focal point within the APAC region to meet with other investors, other space companies. Asia is the fastest growing part of the space market. Private investment is growing very significantly, and we really see Singapore as central to the Asian markets, access to Japan, Korea, and the other markets that are growing very quickly. With fantastic universities, we see spin-out potential and significant opportunity to invest into early stage companies in the region, and we are using GSTC this year to double down our commitment on finding great businesses in the region. Hi, I'm...
Thank you all for your kind words. We have now reached the final part of this short presentation. And this is a very important message I have for all of you today. We are having a special launch offer today for you to secure your packages and delegate passes for GSTCE 2025. As usual, we have the usual sponsorship packages for our partners to amplify their brand exposure. We also, for once, have exhibition-only packages available, both shell scheme and raw space options. So please speak to me or any members of my team about your participation. Or alternatively, you can use the QR code on this slide to register your interest, and we'll be in touch in the next few days. With that, we end the more serious part for today. It's time to dine, wine, and network. I wish you all a great evening. Thank you.